Welcome to StopFake, the place where we debunk disinformation and set the record straight on fakes about Ukraine. I'm Marko Suprun, and this week we have 4 dissections. 1. A Ukrainian soldier deserts and joins separatists. 2. Hungary to shoot down Ukraine airplane. 3. The Ukrainian parliamentary speaker is a neo-Nazi and an anti-Semite. And Serbia says Maidan revolution really a coup. Details ahead. Ukrainian soldier surrenders to separatist militia because of the drunkenness of his colleagues, blared the headline in the pro-Kremlin internet newspaper Ukraina.ru. Other Russian media also featured this fake story, claiming that Sergeant Taras Hapyak from Ukraine's 24th Mechanized Brigade deserted his post and surrendered himself to Russian militants in the so-called Luhansk People's Republic, the LNR. These stories appeared after a video of Hapyak being questioned by the LNR People's Police was published online. According to the Ukrainian Security Service, in March of 2017, Sergeant Taras Hapyak was captured by LNR militants. In December of 2017, he was freed in a prisoner exchange. After his release, he related how he was forced to record the video under torture. Hapyak said he was kept in a small basement room during his entire captivity. When he refused to read a text his captors wanted to videotape, Hapyak says he was beaten. He described countless interrogations, beatings with rubber batons, and the use of electric shock. Taras Hapyak spent 279 days in captivity with the Russian LNR militants. After he was freed in a prisoner exchange, he was able to identify 19 mercenaries from the military office of the LNR who are implicated in the torture and abuse of Ukrainian soldiers in occupied Donetsk and Luhansk prisons. Russian media reported last week that Hungary sent fighter jets in pursuit of a Ukrainian aircraft that had violated the country's airspace. Ukraina.ru, Russia's Defense Ministry television channel and website Zvezda, Izvestia, and others all claimed that Hungary's Air Force Gripen fighter jets were ready to attack the unknown plane that flew in from Ukraine. Now, according to Hungary's liberal-leaning internet newspaper Index, shortly before midnight on June 10, a small aircraft entered Hungarian airspace from Ukraine without establishing contact with Hungarian air traffic control. This alarmed Hungary's defense forces, which began monitoring the aircraft's movements. After several aerial maneuvers, the plane left Hungarian airspace. There is absolutely no mention of fighter jets tracking the plane, pursuing it, and preparing to shoot it down. Ukraine's border service spokesman Oleg Slobodyan says Hungary did not send Gripen fighter jets after the unknown aircraft. They were, however, put on alert. Both countries are jointly investigating the incident, and Ukrainian authorities are searching for the aircraft. Slobodyan suspects it was a smuggling craft carrying contraband goods. As the aircraft was quite small, it is unclear if it was an actual airplane or a hang glider. What is a Kyiv neo-Nazi doing in the French National Assembly? French MPs want to know. Blared French Sputnik's headline last week. The presence of a neo-Nazi and an anti-Semite angers French deputies, declared French RT. These two Kremlin-funded media outlets that French President Emmanuel Macron called propaganda organs gleefully disseminated a fake story claiming that the June 11 visit of Ukrainian parliamentary speaker Andriy Poruby to France outraged the country's parliamentarians. RT France featured 2 articles about Poruby's visit to France, calling him a neo-Nazi each time. French economist Olivier Berruyer, the founder of Le Crises site, was the first to call Poruby's visit to France scandalous. Berruyer is a known purveyor of alternate politics and is often accused of disseminating conspiracy theories. He is a proponent of Moscow's distorted version of events in Ukraine and has gained considerable notoriety for promoting these views. In fact, the so-called outrage amounted to 2 tweets by a member of parliament. There was no parliamentary outrage or protest against Poruby's visit. Despite countless articles disputing that Ukraine is a hotbed of nationalist frenzy, pro-Kremlin media continue to portray Ukraine as a country ruled by fascists presenting a danger to European stability. Radical parties in Ukraine do not have popular support. In fact, at the last elections, they didn't make it into parliament. Even the venerable French publication Libération has written about this. In his youth, Andriy Poruby was a member of the Svoboda Party, a conservative, nationalist, right-oriented party. He left Svoboda more than 14 years ago on the eve of the 2004 Orange Revolution. In 2007, he was elected to parliament from the liberal, pro-European Nasha Ukraina bloc of former President Viktor Yushchenko. After the Russian annexation of Crimea and the onset of the war in eastern Ukraine, Poruby headed Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council. In 2016, he was elected parliamentary speaker. Today, he is a member of the moderate centrist People's Front Party. Several Russian media outlets claim that the Serbian Defense Ministry, and therefore the country itself, consider the Euromaidan a coup d'etat. To support their claim, they quote Serbian Minister of Defense who compared recent protests in Serbia with the Maidan movement in Ukraine. While Minister Alexander Vulin did compare the protests in an interview on national television RTS, he never called the Ukrainian protests a coup d'etat. Due to a sudden petrol price increase, spontaneous protests recently broke out in Serbia. Starting in Belgrade, the protests spread to more than 30 cities demanding a reduction of the excise tax imposed by the government and allowing the price of gasoline to remain unchanged. The minister declared that these protests have a hidden agenda supported by Western secret services and Serbian opposition leaders, and that their real goal is to destroy the country like they did in Ukraine. This statement does not represent the official position of the Serbian authorities so far. That's it for this week. Be vigilant, don't consume fakes. If you spot any disinformation about Ukraine, send it to us for a truth autopsy. I'm Marko Suprun, and this is StopFake. Thanks for watching.